Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of The Watcher. I am Assistant Editor of Marvel.com, Ben Morse, and once again we have a very special guest with us, the beating heart of the Spider-Man office, the true queen of Spider Island, Spider-Man Assistant Editor Ellie Pyle. Ellie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Can I call you Ellie?
You can.
Very cool. Ellie, Spider Island, now a thing of the past.
It's true.
It's in the rear view. Can you kind of catch us up to date on what happened in this big event and what it means for Peter Parker and his world?
Well, all of New York got spider powers, which seemed very, very cool at first, until, of course, people started turning into spider monsters, including Pete's girlfriend, Carly. So, that was all very problematic. The Jackal had caused bedbugs to mutate people, and then the Queen was trying to turn them into a spider army. So all the heroes rally together and take out the Queen. Spider-Man ends up saving the day using Doc Ock's Octobots from issue 600, and with some help from Mary Jane, who had spider powers of her own, and I will let you all make whatever you want to make of what all that's about. But then, of course, in the epilogue, we saw that everyone turned back into people without clothes. And the biggest consequence of Spider Island for Peter Parker is that Carly Cooper, his girlfriend, figured out that he was Spider-Man and broke up with him. And now Doctor Strange has told him that because Peter stood up as Peter Parker and said, "I have spider powers," the spell now has a loophole of people won't know that he's Spider-Man, but they can learn.
Right.
They can figure it out. So he no longer has that protection going forward.
We've got another issue of Amazing Spider-Man coming out next week.
Right.
There are like 6 issues a month somehow.
Where
it's not true.
You will see some new villains, which is very cool. Runaway kids who came to Spider Island wanting to get spider powers and got here too late, but, may get adopted by another familiar spider face that I know everyone's been longing to see again. So,
all right, now over on the other side of the Spider Office, which is a very small office. So
it is a very small office.
Roughly the same size is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You guys just launched Avenging Spider-Man.
We did.
This week. Big success. I want to talk a little bit about that, the first issue, how people are receiving it.
It is just so much fun, and that's the best way to describe Avenging. It is just, it's fun, it's funny, it's action, and Zeb Wells, is hilarious, and Joe Madureira's art is just stunning. It's gorgeous. And it's a very art-driven book, lots of action. The New York Marathon makes an appearance, which I thought was pretty cool, because that just happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been getting a great response from everyone. A lot of love for J. Jonah Jameson, actually, who has several very choice moments.
He is a wonderful
in
star
Avenging
of that
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, actually, Agent M and I were talking about on our new podcast, This Week in Marvel, available right here on Marvel.com, about how much we love the issue and how much we loved, in particular, the little humor bits like when Spider-Man needed to get back to New York and exactly how the Avengers figured out who was going to do it.
Right.
The classic thing. I'm not going to ruin it for you here. Just go buy the issue. You can get it both in print and digital.
Yes.
And if you buy the print copy,
you get a free digital copy. So that's very, very cool.
The price of one. Now, you also, in addition to working on the Spider-Man books, you work on Daredevil, you work on Punisher, and one of the cool things you guys are doing in the office is you're really building this corner of New York for the street heroes, for Daredevil, Punisher, Spider-Man. How much work do you do coordinating between the 3 books, the creative teams, the various editors, to give kind of a cohesive vision of this?
A lot. Obviously, within the editorial office, we all try and read everything, so that we all sort of kind of know what's going on in everybody's books. And we also are making sure that the writers have copies of the other issues that might overlap. We will have some very specific crossovers coming up. Daredevil and Spidey are going to be doing 2 issues
Right.
together, 1 in each series.
Right, January.
Right, and then we've got some other things in the works
Right.
that are probably a bit too far out for me
Right.
to be specific about.
But those
where
characters
you will
seem
see
to,
these
work
characters
together.
showing up in each other's books. But one of the things that I think is so cool is the supporting cast overlapping between
Yeah.
the books, because it is New York. It's
Yeah.
all the same New York, and these people are bound to run into each other sooner or later. So, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, as we keep saying, but I will tell people to keep an eye out on Punisher for another familiar face and another bit of plot point from one of the other books that may be bleeding over into that.
So big things
So-
ahead in the Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher trifecta universe.
Yes.
Pretty cool. All right, bring it back full circle before we let you go to Spider Island. One of the cool things about Spider Island is everyone got spider powers, but they didn't all get the same spider powers. You know,
It's true.
some people got the spider sense, some people got organic web shooters, stuff like that. You, Ellie Pyle, get stuck on Spider Island
Oh, man.
pre-giant spider mutation phase,
Right.
which you don't know is coming.
Right, of course.
What is the one power you want to get above everything else?
Oh, I don't think there's any spider power cooler than the web swinging.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best part. If you're not
Okay.
going to have that, then, what's the point?
So you want to shoot the web out of here.
Yeah, and go swinging around
Right.
Manhattan? Of course.
All right. Makes a lot of sense.
Of course.
It's very practical, too.
It's true.
Cool.
It's
Ellie,
true.
thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. You are by far the most pleasant person in the Spider-Man office. Anyways, guys, we're going to go to this week's Stack Attack, and then we'll be back with you to tell you more about what's coming up this week in Marvel. There's also a podcast at marvel.com. Check it out. All right, gang, welcome to this week's Stack Attack, where we preview the books that are going to be on sale next Wednesday. It's a good old-fashioned recruiting drive in Avengers number 19 by Brian Michael Bendis and Daniel Acuna. Who will Captain America recruit to join Earth's mightiest heroes? You're in for some surprises. Check it out. It's time for Iron Man to face his fears in Fear Itself number 7.3 by Matt Fraction and Salvador LaRocca. What happens when Tony Stark confronts Odin? It's gonna be epic. Finally, in Uncanny X-Men number 2 by Kieran Gillen and Carlos Pacheco, Mr. Sinister has taken over San Francisco. What can Cyclops and the Extinction Team do to stop him? You're only a few days away from finding out. Remember, these are just a few of the books coming from Marvel next week, so check marvel.com for a full listing of comics on sale. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of The Watcher. As always, for all the news and latest stuff on comics, movies, music, video games, everything Marvel, go to marvel.com. Please check out This Week in Marvel, our new podcast, and join us next week for The Watcher. I'm Ben Morse, and this is Marvel, your universe. How'd I do that? That's pretty good. Okay. How are the numbers looking?
It's good.
Okay, good.
Keep it up.
Your universe.
Marvel, your universe.